The Badge, brought to you by Big O Tires, the team you trust.
And welcome back. Imagine suddenly finding yourself in a life or death crisis. It's hard to know exactly how you would react, right? Well, a group of local police officers recently found themselves in that very situation. ABC4's Rick Aaron tells us how it unfolded in tonight's Behind the Badge report.
Layton was dark and quiet in the pre-dawn hours of Sunday morning, January 12th. The officers on the graveyard shift were just about to clock out. Then all of a sudden, a call comes over the radio. A house at 2780 East Summerwood Drive is on fire, and there are people inside. A dashboard camera is recording as 4 Layton police officers are the first to arrive.
Fire and smoke just pouring out of the house.
I mean, you could see the flames shooting out of the window, and there was just so much smoke.
Is everybody out of the house?
The answer is no. 2 residents in the driveway say a woman is trapped in the basement. Officer Mitchell Porter tries the front door and Officer Samuel Rockwell the back door. Neither can get more than a step inside because of the smoke. They join Officers Braden Peterson and Cody Bowman near a rear window well and break the glass.
All of a sudden, the smoke just starts pouring out even thicker, and it just completely consumes that whole window well. Porter basically disappears in the smoke, and I see him leaning over, coughing his lungs out pretty much.
But through the choking blackness, a sound.
We heard coughing, and we could hear kind of the moaning and the groaning coming from somewhere in the basement.
It was, kind of a shriek like, someone help me. At that point, when I knew she was in there, your adrenaline's kind of going through the roof. I mean, there's a human being in there that is potentially in a serious amount of danger. So, I mean, all you're thinking about is getting into that house. Get that lady out.
She somehow makes her way to their voices and reaches toward their outstretched arms.
So we grab a hold of her arm, and we're yanking on it, trying to get her out of the window, but the angle we were at was just, we couldn't get her out. Officer Bowman jumps into the window well and is able to get enough of her out where the rest of us can latch onto her body and pull her out of the window.
But once we got her hand and we got to a point, it's almost like she just gave up. She had been struggling so much.
The woman collapses and Officer Peterson carries her away from the burning house.
So I threw her over my shoulder, ran around, climbed over this little 3-foot fence that just about killed me, and then ran her out front to the paramedics.
The woman was taken to the hospital as a precaution, but turned out to be fine. Extremely fortunate that this team of a former firefighter, a former college football player, and a former Marine were on duty that morning.
For days after that, I was thinking how proud I was to work with a bunch of guys that, like, none of them are going to even hesitate to run into that smoke with me, and nobody even had a second thought to put themselves at risk to get her out.
Each of the officers told me that anyone would have done what they did that morning, and they're not really heroes. I think just about everybody, especially that woman, would disagree. For Behind the Badge, I'm Rick Aaron, ABC4 News.
Yes, well, to see more Behind the Badge stories or to nominate an officer for Rick to profile, head to our website, abc4.com/badge.